kryptonite. Password strong like shields of gold. Love and wisdom shared in bold. Protect our circle, keep it clear. Online shadows lurking near. Guard your fire, don't let it slip. Family strong with cyber tips. Fishing lines in waters deep. Don't let them pull what you keep. Links they shine, but traps they weave. Trust your heart, don't be deceived. Protect our circle, keep it clear. Online shadows lurking near. Guard your fire, don't let it slip. Family strong with cyber tips. Every click we take, be wise. See through all their clever lies. Knowledge builds a fortress tall. Together we will never fall. Protect our circle, keep it clear, keep it clear. Online shadows lurking near, lurking near. Guard your fire, don't let it slip. Family strong with cyber tips. Protect our circle, keep it clear, keep it clear. Online shadows lurking near, lurking near. Guard your fire, don't let it slip, don't let it slip. Family strong with cyber tips. Oh.
We have a show to run. We have an episode, a podcast to do. Do you know the sneaky ways hackers are getting to our children online, especially in 2020? Oh, wow. Especially in 2025, okay? From gaming chats to fake giveaways, your child might already be a target. Today, we're going to break down what's really happening and how you, as a parent and a caregiver, can stop it. Good day and welcome back to Family Cyber Tips Daily. Today's tips could be one of the most important ones yet. You know, we started this journey on the 1st of January. Every weekday, we speak to you about many things. Today's episode is for real, huge and important. Doesn't belittle any of the other ones we've done, but you must really click with this one and indeed share it with your family friends so that they are in the know. Okay? Hackers are targeting kids. It is fact. Not just kids under age, but also teens in 2025. What can you do as a parent? And you notice that I always add the word caregiver because many would think that I'm just directing at mom or a mom and a dad. There are many adults who have oversight over young ones. This is why I use caregiver. If you're providing any care at all to a child, someone younger than yourself, it's important that you note these things that we're sharing because you will protect them. All right? It's going to be a short video, but we're going to dig in and I'm going to make sure that you flow with me. And by the way, that's the jingle for our podcast. I hope you liked it. If you did, well, you have an opportunity to put a like or a thumbs up as we call it, okay? But there's a lot going on, all right? Now, the reality check. If you, and I know we use these, words to try and not confuse you, but to stay modern. God willing, you're not sleeping under a rock, so you are aware of many of the things that we are sharing. Kids are online today more than ever. And whilst online, they're learning, they're gaming, and they're chatting. And guess what? Hackers know this. Hackers observe this trend. And so they're busy too, okay? They are exploring everything from innocent game chat rooms to TikTok trends to lure our kids in. And what do our kids do being innocent? They take the hook or the bait, okay? Let me share some common tactics that these hackers, I call them internet rogues, use in the 21st century, particularly 2025. Fake giveaways and free game skins. As your child come to you and urged you to, give them money so that they can buy a game skin. Most of these things, we always say that the enemy or the rogue always, introduces counterfeit items. So it's quite possible that they're original giveaways, legit giveaways. But because the rogue knows that the kids connect when they're giveaways and when they're freebies, they are adopting the same strategy. So they give away free game skins and kids get hooked and then, and that's how the rogue pounces. Friendly strangers who quickly turn manipulative, or phishing emails that look like school notices. That deep. AI, now that we're in the AI world, season here is now. AI generated videos that encourage risky clicks. These are common tactics that the enemy, yes, they are enemies, because if they wish our kids harm, they are an enemy. Okay, and what do you do with enemies? You prep. You prepare yourself so that you can be one step ahead. Okay, I'm not encouraging violence, but we're going to have to protect our kids with every means necessary. Okay, so it's really a no-brainer that we ought to know these things, and let's not live in cuckoo land. Things are happening. These rogues are lurking, waiting to pounce on vulnerable and at times irresponsible kids. Okay? And we don't want that to happen. So we, every evening come here to learn a bit, learn something that will help you, be ahead. That's the plan. Okay? All right. So let's look at how to spot the signs, because everyone leaves a track. Everyone leaves some sort of trail. And the rogues, especially the untrained ones, will leave something that's so obvious. I'm going to sort of throw things in the mix so that you can see or at least observe. And when you see these things happen, you see them as red flags. And you've got to teach your young one how to spot them too. Teach your child, what we call digital red flags. There are many. We're just going to list a few. You've won something. They get a pop-up on their system, their tablets, their computer, laptop. You've won so and so. And they pop up. The child can't believe, their eyes. And they'll do everything. And I can tell you, they will do everything to get that prize so that they can have a narrative or a story to tell when they're with their peers, so that they get bragging rights. You've won something. Or you get requests for passwords or private information. Another are links from people that you don't know from Adam. They just appear and tell you to click a link with some urgency or some, too good to be true message. And kids, the untrained, will click. That's why we must teach our children to observe these digital red flags. But you may even get a message, or they get a message that, pops up and tells them all they have to do is answer this very simple question, and the prize advertised is theirs. It's usually money. It's usually something that the rogue knows will hook the child. Another thing we must do, and it's still a digital red flag, is to watch out for behavioral shifts. Are your children suddenly secretive? Are they deleting chat histories? Are they nervous when you walk by? They suddenly start packing up things when you walk into the room. And there's this eerie quiet or quietness in the room because they've suddenly done something that... And a parent's instincts are never wrong. Never doubt yourself when it comes to your child, especially as it pertains to online stuff. When you get that nudge, don't ignore it. Because some of us still live in the past. Your child is beautiful, your child is awesome, your child is praiseworthy, they're obedient, they're compliant. It just takes a little tweak from a rogue to change all that. And that's why this must be, a divine duty that we do not ignore. All right? When you see those behavioral shifts, you must do something. Okay? You must. All right? So those are how to spot the signs that something is up. And we can't, like I keep saying, ignore it. Okay? So I'm going to give you some, what I call, or I'm terming, power moves, some parent or caregiver power moves. All right? And this doesn't involve tech per se. You don't have to be tech savvy to protect your kids. Really. Although I'm aiming to train you to get there, but it's not a be all and end all. So I'm going to give you some simple actions you can take. All right? Set up, yes, I'm saying it again, parental controls and safe search filters. Google has a safe search filter that once set will prevent inappropriate content, coming into your kids, computers. Parental controls, we've made enough noise about that, will also give you some control over what your child gets up to. We've said it must be appropriate. It must be appropriately rolled out because there's some kids who may react differently to parental controls. This is all easy if you start early, but if you don't, then it's got to be measured, okay? Install a family monitoring app if you need to, and talk openly about why you're doing it. One hook will be that, son, daughter, I'm rooting for you. But these rogues are really, really, deep. So in addition to my hand holding you, we have this app that we're going to install so that we have all hands on deck. But you've got to be open, people. You've got to be open. This can't be you trying to snitch on them or, secretly observe what they're doing. No, that's the wrong approach. Bring them in very early on and tell them that this is what we're doing. And I say this because, seriously, to tackle the hacker, all hands have to be on the plow. All hands have to be on deck. And that's more secular. You can also create a family tech contract. Again, tech contracts will work for kids who are, say, under 12, where they're not as forceful, or where you will not receive friction, because kids at a certain age may fight back. You don't trust me, you don't, and then there's a guilt trip and you give up. And the giving up, sorry, I need to stretch that a bit. The giving up only happens when you feel, alone. And I say that because if your child is saying things like I just said now, that, Mom, you don't trust me. I don't know why I even bother. And then they hook you, get you all on that guilt trip. And you, in a view to not lose your child or, mentally frustrate them, you hands off because you're not trained. And this is why we're having these candid discussions. Don't give up, reach out. Reach out to me or someone appropriate so that we can, guide you. This is what you must do. You can't ignore the friction, of course. Yeah, I'm for that. But don't give up. Once you start this journey, don't give up. So if it doesn't work with your child, we may discuss or can discuss an appropriate option. Okay? Keep devices in shared spaces. If you think about it, if you put the computer in a place where everyone gathers, like the lounge or sitting room, as many know it to be, really, it would take a very bold child to be doing something naughty in an open space. So in a way, you're providing tech, but tech has some control because it's in a public place, in the house, okay? Those are all strategies. You're not hiding, it's just there, Encourage your child, like we've said at least 3 weeks going now. Encourage your child to pause and ask before clicking on anything suspicious, all right? Most importantly, keep all conversations about tech, the digital world, open and shame-free. If you have that, your child will never feel condemned or judged. Let them know that they can always come to you no matter what, okay? On Sunday, this got just gone past. I was so encouraged that one of our, members encouraged the kids. Yes, it seemed like, it didn't seem to me as a parent, and I'm sure as the other parents may attest to, we didn't feel that it was not genuine. It was truly genuine. But we know that there's some children who are losing confidence because they are either judged or belittled, and they don't have a go-to. They don't have external contacts that they can reach out who will validate them and praise them, So it was almost like a reminder, certainly for me, maybe that was not the intention, but for me, it was a reminder that we must, praise our children. Remind them that you're always there. Remind them that you will not judge them. Remind them that whatever the mistake is, they should feel comfortable to come to you, And mom and dad have to be on point. You've got to be in, all in. There's no but no. When it comes to our kids, those are non-negotiables. I'm not saying you should open the door and allow them to get about wrong things. There's discipline that will happen. There's a tight shift in the home, but it's equally open, negotiable. If things are not working, we tweak it and all that. But our children they must always know that there's no shame, open conversations, and that they can always come to you, come to mom, come to dad as appropriate. And dad and mom behind the scenes are also investing time to discuss strategies, approaches. Because if you approach it one way, mom does, dad does another, then it's confusing for the child. Don't let the child play you both. So it's important that behind the scenes, especially when they're sleeping or resting, you and mom, dad and mom are discussing strategies so that mom doesn't need to second guess. She knows how dad is thinking. We always feel, I think parents actually feel that digital discussions are off limits. So we don't have those discussions. The same way we have those discussions about every other thing concerning our children, the online digital engagement has to go on that list. Discuss the same way you would discuss every other matter in their favor, okay? We can't block every danger. We know that. It's it would be foolish to think otherwise. We can't block every danger. The rogue may win some battles and lose, in my humble view and prayer, a lot more than they gain, okay? What we are hoping that we will achieve with this mandate, this call to arms, is that we're raising informed and confident kids, okay? Because we're not going to parent our kids all their life. At some point, we will let go, and allow things run on their own. We want to see how they're doing and admire from a distance, okay? The one thing that you can do is share this with your fellow parents, your friends, your family members. It will help get this message along so that it will be part of the discussion. We'll not only be discussing, did you watch that film? Did you go there? Did you do this? Discuss the digital experiences our kids have and all the things that are happening in our world, okay? So you have to share this with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be part of the 5. I said 5 in faith because the last time I checked before I came online, it was 994. And I made that assumption because each episode, we normally get 1. So I'm sure it's 5. If you look at the subscription button, you see that it's 995. And if you go there and you notice that you've not subscribed, you could be the 996. Okay? So we're 4 or 5 away from 1K, and that will be a celebration. Okay? So please subscribe to the channel. It is absolutely free. But from your standpoint, you're helping this message and this content get into the laps of people like you who need this information, okay? Help us, please do. I can't say it enough. Things are looking up and I'm really encouraged, okay? Stay safe and stay empowered. I've been your host, Lawrence Edem. Until tomorrow at 6 p.m. God bless and goodbye. Enjoy this song. It's a beautiful song, okay?
Family strong with cyber tips. Every click we take, be wise.